These are the long-awaited sights and sounds of Silver Reef Brewing Company's beer canning assembly line. Carbon dioxide blows air out of these empty cans before being filled and topped off with Silver Reef beer inside, 4 cans at a time.
We're all over the state of Utah in our kegs, and now what we're doing is we're starting to can our beer, and that will go throughout the whole state of Utah.
Located in a 10,000 square foot building in the industrial park at St. George, the Silver Reef Brewing Company, which opened its doors in January, is now producing microbrews by the 6-pack.
All the major grocery stores and the convenience stores. So that's what we're doing today is this is our inaugural canning of our first 3 beers.
It's taken 3 years for Dave Moody and his partner Gary Ellis of Las Vegas to get from the first idea to the production of the first can. Named after the small mining town of Silver Reef, Utah, the owners wanted to make history stand out.
That's really one of the first cities in Washington County, and they liked alcohol. They served a lot of beer.
It takes a lot of true grit to get a brewing company up and running.
And I'm excited. We're the first brewery in St. George, and I'm just really happy that I can finally bring beer to this area.
With a background in German lager brewing for the past 25 years, he has brewed up a more full-bodied beer using only all-natural ingredients.
I spent several years making very traditional German-style beer, and now I have the opportunity to put little tweaks and twists on them and create different hybrids and crossovers between styles, like our Belgian Red Ale. It's a cross between an American Red Ale and a Belgian Ale.
But water is the main ingredient.
And the water here in southern Utah is not the greatest for making beer, so we invested in a reverse osmosis water system that is specifically designed for making beer water.
Because the water pressure isn't the best, Key said they will eventually install a holding tank for water. And because this brewery is up and coming, it has been designed for expansion.
These are our fermentation vessels. These smaller vessels right here are 40 barrels, which hold 80 kegs of beer. This tank right here is a 60-barrel tank, which can hold 120 kegs of beer. I have 2 60-barrel tanks and 4 40-barrel tanks, and we have 4 60-barrel tanks coming on the way with room for even more expansion after that.
The brewery is also going to build on another 3,000 feet, adding a kitchen, a restaurant, and even an outdoor beer garden.
And so we will we'll make small batches of different styles, and if they take off and get very popular, we'll probably rotate them into the canning lineup.
They will also offer food made out of beer.
Yeah, we'll have our own beer cheese, we'll have, our broths, everything will be made. Our onion rings will be beer battered with our beer, our French fries. Everything will be made with our beer.
Local officials and others took a short tour of the facility and were offered some tasty treats made from this beer.
First one would be our beer mustard. So I use the fresh and juicy session IPA. Along with, we've also made a beer kraut. And then in addition to that, we also created a beer cheese with the Color Country Red Ale.
Silver Reef will also offer a root beer, which is said to be the mayor's favorite.
Silver Reef Brewery makes the best root beer anywhere in the world, I think, and I've sampled a lot of root beer.
The chamber president thinks this will be good for business in St. George, especially with the draw of sporting events.
A lot of our runners and people want to have a beer right after, and so this is fabulous. I mean, look at these cans, it says right here, brewed with pride in the heart of St. George. That's exciting.
Silver Reef's beer is already being sold from Salt Lake to the north and Las Vegas to the south. Soon, these cans will arrive in stores and other outlets, making it much easier to distribute and market.
I like to show off what's available not too far away, and I think we're going to do just nice.
Silver Reef currently offers an IPA called Fresh and Juicy, an American Red Ale named Color Country, and a third Mexican-style lager called Agua del Diablo, or the Devil's Water. All are sold in different colored cans for distinction. And a new Utah law, which will increase the alcohol content in November from 3.2 to 4%, will allow this microbrewery to be more competitive.
we'll have to just spend, a little more money to have our cans changed, when it goes into the grocery stores at that time with the proper disclosures.
We'll be able to sell full-strength, well-made beers from St. George in the state of Nevada.
By the end of this 2-day run, these workers have already successfully produced about 50,000 cans ready to be shipped. While only using a small crew now, the microbrewery is also making plans to expand its employees within a year. While it's taken a lot of cleaning, planning, and preparation, in the end, the reward is said to be worth it.
And now that I'll be able to go home and reach into my refrigerator and open it up in a can, I'm pretty proud and happy that this is happening.
To go from January to when we open the doors to right now in July to where we're going to go statewide, I'm excited about it. It's just something that I couldn't ask to be any better.
In St. George, from Silver Reef Brewery, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.